So physical therapist Jessica Bento here is going to help me show one of our favorite strategies. So we know the shoulder is a byproduct of what happens at the core, the hip, and the lower extremities as well. So we want to tap into that. So we're getting a half kneeling position, and we're going to band the hip with a super band. That's going to give her some feedback to drive the feet in the ground, create that stability from the ground up, also make that hip more active. She's going to actually pull apart the ultimate sandbag itself, bring it to one side of our body. We know diagonal patterns also restore function in our core faster, as well as our shoulders and hips. So now she's going to actively pull apart as she drives down her feet. She's going to create a diagonal pattern, not going over the top of her head like this, but at an angle, and she's going to pull apart as she brings it back down. So we're tapping into the natural diagonal chains along with connecting the extremities, which is what the core helps us do, which when we restore the integration of the hip core to the shoulder, we get mobility and stability results much faster. Research also tells us that myofascial stretching, so stretching that actually integrates more of the body as we move, along with breath work, restores mobility and stability to the shoulder much faster. So Jessica's going to show an example here. Her arms starting off to the side. She's going to put her weight on her right leg as she takes about a 45-degree step. She's going to turn that foot out. She's going to flex at her hip, put her weight more to the front, but still use that back foot. Open up her hands, open up through here. Then she's going to return by taking a deep breath in and coming back. Let's see it one more time, Jess. Deep breath in, step, exhale, a little flexion at the hip, opening up, rotating forward, back foot still used, and then coming back and exhaling. A great way to combine science into real-world practice. So what you're seeing is integrating more of the body is always going to get us better results because the body is meant to work as a single unit. So our around the world here is going to be a great example. Now, people often think the shoulder is moving the weight here, but it's really not. The foot, the hip, the core are moving the weight, and the arms are just following the movement. So we're going to get great results in both internal and external rotation of our shoulder while creating a dynamic action up the body. We're going to use those diagonal patterns again. So Jessica's going to start really slow, but with her knees bent, feet a little wider than her hips, slightly turned out. She's going to sink into her feet. She's going to get in a more athletic stance. You don't want to be straight-legged. She's going to pivot to one side, and she's going to slowly bring the weight in towards her upper back. So you saw how her elbows actually stay close to her body. Now this is better than what you see a lot of times, let's say with a kettlebell halo or other tools, because we're getting a longer range of motion, our arms can be wider, and we're teaching core stability by driving the feet down, and we're getting that hip mobility that's going to also connect to our upper extremities like our shoulder. We could do a deep breath in as she comes around, and when she hits that midpoint of her upper back, then we're going to start to exhale on the way back down. So this is a good preparatory work for when we do this for rotational power too, which is going to be faster and more explosive. But if you don't have these foundations down, you're not going to get the amazing results. This is going to help thoracic mobility, shoulder mobility, core stability, hip mobility, and strength. So many things are being achieved in all these different exercises. That's why these are 3 much better ways to improve your shoulder stability.